Hi, everyone. I wanted to share with you today what my COVID-19 challenge is and how I'm coping with that. So, my challenge is getting my 92-year-old mother who lives alone in Montreal to stay home. My sisters and I call ourselves the Mom Squad. We have many phone calls all day long to ensure she has everything she needs so she doesn't need to leave her apartment. My mother has a fierce sense of independence. She doesn't like being bossed around by us. She also has a strong Catholic sense of duty to authority. So now our mom squad includes the Premier of Quebec, the Pope, her pharmacist, her doctor. When she starts arguing with us, we say, Mom, the Pope said you don't need to go to Mass. Or, Mom, your pharmacist said you have to stay home. And then she doesn't argue anymore. So our COVID-19 challenge brings out the worst and the best in us. And the worst moments are when we feel overwhelmed by fear that our mother will have a COVID-19 death. The best moments are just really poignant conversations about mortality, past experiences of struggles, and what makes us resilient as a family. And we laugh a lot with each other. What helps me cope when I feel overwhelmed? I have to say that I think all of our stress responses are like fingerprints with unique patterns shaped by life experience. And my stress response to COVID-19 is shaped by trauma, by past losses, by my own particular psychological vulnerabilities. And I think of my spiritual fingerprint as that unique pattern shaped by formative experiences and values and beliefs that coalesce when I'm able to use calming spiritual practices. Now, I offer my ways of coping with cultural humility. I'm wary of insidious inclusive beliefs that there is one God or that my spiritual practice will work for you. But that said, I want to share what helps me cope. My spiritual fingerprint is shaped by childhood experiences of beauty through sacred choral music. I've been listening to British composer Ray Vaughan Williams' cantata Dona Nobis Pacem. He composed this in 1936 in remembrance of the horrific suffering he witnessed in World War I. He was on the ambulance teams that brought the wounded out of the months-long Third Battle of Ypres at Flanders, where 1.25 million British, French, and German soldiers were killed. And in this cantata, he sets some of the poems by Walt Whitman that he wrote remembering his experiences as a wound dresser, or what we think of now as a nurse in the United States Civil War. And some of these poems recall traumatic moments of caring for wounded soldiers. One poem called Reconciliation describes his words of hope, and Vaughan Williams just has a just beautiful setting of these words. I want to read them to you. Word over all, beautiful as the sky, beautiful that war and all its deeds of carnage must in time be utterly lost. And the hands of the sisters, death and night, incessantly softly wash again and ever again this soiled world. When I listen to this piece of music, I try to take into my body the beauty of this music, and it connects me with goodness in my life. I envision being part of a web of life that includes war veterans like Vaughan Williams and Whitman. I envision the ways my sisters and I and my mother are incessantly knitting a web of life that holds all of us. I envision how so many of us in our own ways are knitting a web of life to hold the most vulnerable. Dona Nobis Pacem.